Good morning, everyone, and welcome to 6 a.m. and our Back to Basics series. It is early, I understand. But this morning, I really wanted to talk about you becoming your own best health advocate. Sorry, I keep looking to the side instead of at the camera. Facebook has changed how we do lives, and it's a little weird. So please bear with me. All right. So this morning, part of becoming your own best health advocate is actually joining the community. So if you're on my team, if you've joined up or signed up with me, if I've helped you start this Young Living journey, what I do is, or part of what I do, is I make sure and send out a newsletter via email once a month that has a lot of good information in it. You know, it's got some, interesting health topics, some basic ways to start using your kit, community chatter, stuff like that. But also what I do is I try and connect you with resources so that you can do your own research and figure out what it is that you need to do for your health and your family's health. So if you're on Facebook, I will connect you with our team called the Crunchy Bunch. And I love them. They're a great group. But, there are other mamas in there. There are other daddies in there. There are other healthcare professionals in there. There are other people who may have be in a similar place in their life as you are, but maybe just a little further along in their health journey. So it's great to ask questions of people who have been there before. It's great to have that opportunity to ask questions of people who have been there before, right? So get involved in the community. And of course, there are several other communities out there. I'm sure every team has their own, but ours is the Crunchy Bunch, and I really like them a lot because there's just a lot of great folks there. And then another thing that I would highly recommend for you becoming your own best health advocate is books. Reference books. That's where I get a lot of my information from, is reference books. So usually the first thing I do when someone gets a kit is I make sure and give them this little welcome book. And because it's got tons of great information in here. It's got everything from starting with the basics, which is what we've been covering on this series. What are essential oils and what is included on these crazy labels? What's the big deal with seed to seal? Why is that important? And I'm literally just flipping through here. How do I apply essential oils? What is a carrier oil? And then, it continues on, and just about all kinds of things. Anyway, highly recommend it. It's even got, different diffuser recipes and whatnot. So it's a great place to get started, this little welcome book. I like that. I also highly recommend to anyone just getting started the Essential Oils Pocket Reference or the Desk Reference, which is even bigger and contains a lot more information. I actually have both. And usually I'll just grab whichever one's closer to hand unless I need something specifically in the bigger book. But that has tons and tons of information about the oils and suggestions and raindrop and all kinds of things. Really good book, and it's not bad, and you can find it at discoverlsp.com. And if you need help, please message me. But that's a good reference book This blue one, Releasing Emotional Patterns with Essential Oils, is amazing. Highly, highly recommend this one. For, of course, emotional stuff, but also a lot of times when we're dealing with stuff, we don't realize that it can have an emotional component. And so it just keeps bothering us and bothering us and bothering us. And, you know, it's never really going to clear up until we deal with the emotional component. So you can look, there's another book called Feelings Buried Alive, Never Die, which I didn't grab off my shelf, but that one you can look up certain things like, oh, my knee is bothering me. And it'll have a list of possible emotions that can affect your knees or whatever. And you can use that to look it up in the Blue Book and see, you know, anyway, it's really good. Recommend that. If you're dealing with hormonal stuff, there is, you know, of course, Lucy Libido, who's all about hormones. And then there's another one called Taming the Dragon Within or something. That's another really good hormone book, especially for women. There's, oh goodness, so many. And that's the point. There's so many. There's one called Inner Transformations, and it just depends what you are dealing with as to which reference book would be the best to have on your shelf. So I recommend starting off with at least the pocket reference and just starting to build your library as you can and as you need. In fact, they've even got this essential oils desk reference for animals. See, there we go. Cover up my face to get it in the screen. So if you have questions about essential oils in your animals, they've got a reference book for that too. The point is, build your library. And then when you have a question, ask your community. Check your reference books. Be your own researcher, right? Be your own researcher. Do your own work. Nobody's going to do it for you. But if you're just depending on one person to answer all your questions, what happens at 2 o'clock in the morning when you have a question and they're not available? You're kind of stuck. So make sure you know your options to get those questions answered for yourself. Obviously, there are times you will need to seek a professional healthcare provider. Do that if that's what you need. And if it's something that, you know, you can handle yourself, then handle it yourself. You know, nobody knows your situation like you do, quite frankly. So that is what I wanted to hop on and talk about this morning, was really encouraging you to be your own best health advocate. You know, look beyond just symptoms and try and dig down to that root, because if you're just dealing with symptoms, yeah, you might cure up the symptom for a little while, but it's going to come back if you don't deal with the root. So, you know, look at things like your liver health, because your liver health actually underlies a lot of possible conditions. Look at your gut health, just in general, because that is huge. Huge. Gut health is huge. Your immune system is greatly tied to your gut health. You know, it's called your second brain for a reason. So just a lot of things to be aware of, that what is going on the inside can eventually manifest on the outside, and you can mistake it for something that it's not. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me this morning. If you need help getting connected to a community or getting some of these reference books, please, please, please contact me. Contact the person who helped you get your kit. Contact somebody, because you should never, ever, ever feel like you are alone on this journey. And if you are, there's a problem, because this is just too overwhelming for any one person to try and handle on their own. Just don't do it. Get some help. All right, because there is plenty of help out there to be had. You should not have to feel overwhelmed and alone. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week as we continue in our Back to Basics series. All right, have a great day.